Let's discuss one of the platform developer one question. Here the question is, what is a valid statement about Apex classes and interfaces? Okay. Let's explore these options one by one. The first option is the default modifier for your class is private. Okay. Here I have a class. Okay. I have top level class, and inside the top level class I have two inner classes. Okay. Remember, the top level class has to be either public or global. You cannot even make it as protected or private. Okay. Let me remove this. So it has to be either public or global. Okay. Now the default here, what they mean by default modifier is, if the class is not marked with any keyword, then that class is said to be a default class. Okay. So they wanted to know, if we don't specify public, will that be public? Since it is in a public class, will that be public or private? That is the question. Okay. Anyways, see, I have two classes here, inner classes. One is public and another one is not marked. This is the default class. Let me try to create an instance for these two classes. Okay. So to create an instance for inner class, remember the outer class dot inner class, then the object name equal to new outer class dot inner class, and then the default constructor. Okay, here you see it says 2, that is PD52 class 2 is not visible, which means since it is private, it is not visible. So with this, we understand that if we don't mark the class with any keyword, then that acts as a private class. Okay, let's mark that answer. Next, exception class must end with the word exception. What is that? Let's go there and explore it. See here, I have custom exception class. So the custom exception class can be created by extending the system exception class. Okay, so usually we'll be having some system exception class like DML exception, out of bound exception. So these are some of the system exceptions. If you want to define your own exception, say for an example, the name should start with S, or the name the number should not exceed 100. If you want to define any custom logic and throw some exceptions, you can use custom exceptions. Okay. And let me quickly save this and see here, it is expecting the word to be end with exception. So the answers, now we understand these two are the right answers for this question. Let's explore the other two options. A class can have multiple levels of inner classes. What does that mean? Okay, here is a class. The top level class can have inner classes. Can this inner classes but can this inner classes can have further classes inside it? Let's try it. Okay, let me take this class. So let me create one more class inside this. Now you see here, inner types are not allowed to have inner types. So this is one inner type. Okay, so another inner type is not allowed, this inner type. Okay, so this is not valid. You can have multiple levels. You cannot have multiple levels, but you can have multiple classes. I mean multiple classes. That is, you can have multiple. That is, see here I have one class and I have one more class here. Like this, you can have multiple classes inside the top class. Whereas you cannot have multi-level class. A class inside one class, and that class cannot be child of another class. You cannot have like this. Okay, this is not valid. So the fourth option here is the default modifier for an interface is private. So you know that there are two special classes in any OOPS oriented language. One is abstract and another one is interface. These two acts as a base class for other classes. Okay, so this should be always public and it cannot be private. Okay, that's it. Thank you.